Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. We are on our last day of the 31 days Halloween horror movie review challenge. And it's been a journey. This is the first time, I've said this before, it's the first time I ever did a challenge like this, and I feel very successful. I'm definitely going to have to do this next year. This is something I'm like, you know what? I might make this a routine like every year on Halloween, and then in the next year do different horror movies because I noticed there was still a lot I didn't cover. Smile 1 and 2, other movies, etc., like Texas Chainsaw, outside of the bad Netflix one in 2022. So on and so forth. There's so many horror movies, stuff I haven't seen, stuff I have seen, but not in a long time. All in all, I'm like, you know what? There's so much Halloween content. I could make this an actual thing I do every year. So remember this, and remind me. Well, I'll put it down for myself, but let me know. The movie I'm ending this challenge on is something that always was dear to my heart. Haven't seen it in a long time, but my brother and I saw it together. And it was The Strangers, the 2008 one, not these recent ones. This was a long time ago. I was 18 years old, and The Strangers came out. That movie always stuck to us. Wasn't a fan of the one after. What was that called? Whatever The Strangers 2 was called. I forgot what that was called. And to be real with y'all, I haven't watched the last two, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 that just came out last month, because this movie was great for what it was, that I was nervous to see anything more. And I gave the one after it a shot, and I was disappointed. So I was like, I don't know if I want to give this franchise another chance. Y'all know how I feel about sequels with something that I feel could have been just one and done. And after hearing what's going on with Chapter 1 and 2 of The Strangers from last year to this year, it don't sound like I need to watch the... Well, y'all can let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about those movies. But anyway, the plot of this movie is, the first one is very simple. As a matter of fact, this whole movie is simple. This is more about execution. But the plot is a man and a woman are calling it a night after they just came back from a wedding. And they're chilling at a house that they know. It was a vacation home, excuse me. But anyway, they're calling it a night, and it's like around 4 a.m. Then all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. And the knock on the door is this young lady asking for someone in the house. And they're like, that person doesn't live here. So she just ups and leaves. Again, it's at 4 a.m. And so they're already a little uneasy. They're like, why the heck is someone coming to our house? And then all of a sudden, that knock on the door turns to 3 people banging on their door, terrorizing them, making them feel uneasy without the couple even knowing who these people are. They're strangers. There's 3 people with a mask banging on their door, breaking their windows, slashing their tires so they can't escape. And now they have to figure out, how in the heck can we get out of here? The plot is really that simple. How can we survive these strangers? Now, what makes this movie very memorable for me is how, and it's funny, I felt the same way watching it again. I haven't seen it in so long, but I felt the same way watching it again. This movie is really good at making you feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, uneasy, whatever word you want to use. Like, there's scenes where the strangers are walking in the house right behind this couple without the couple even knowing. And it's believable because they walk with silence. They're not loud. This movie does not have a lot of music, if any. Well, very little, but you don't really notice it much. And they're just prowling around, trolling them before they're trying to kill them. And the way the director does it is very chilling. I was watching it again. I'm like, man, this feels uncomfortable. And I said this before, when a movie can be realistic, I find that more terrifying than a Jason chasing you or a Freddy chasing you. Because this is something that can be real. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact the director made the atmosphere feel like you was there, always did something to me that a lot of movies didn't. And I love that. This movie does not have a lot going on. Let me be real with y'all. This movie does not have a lot of substance, but it has enough. It does its job. The movie is not that long. It's just there to make you feel uneasy. And that's exactly what this movie does perfectly, in my opinion. Strangers is up there, one of the best horror movies, in my opinion. It doesn't have all the loud music, the crazy jump scare, nothing like that. It has you're stuck in the house, and you got these three people with masks. And the movie also does well not showing you who these people are. And another thing that really sets this movie apart from a lot of horror movies is the plot of these three strangers. There's a scene where the lady played by Liz Tyler, who's the protagonist, her and her man, she asks the strangers, "Why are you doing this?" And their answer, or one of them answered it, and the answer is very chilling. She said, "Because you were home." That's it. No real big plot. You was just home, and we're here to mess y'all night up. That's it. That's a Joker mentality from The Dark Knight, where Alfred said some people just want to make the world burn. They can't be bought or bullied. To know that that's what these people are about, there's nothing you can do except for taking them out. If you can take them out, cool, you can escape. But outside of that, there's nothing you can do to stop what they want to do. There's something chilling about that. And like I said, when you can execute it right, it could be a real perfect horror movie. For the hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half this movie was, it did its job. So shout out to The Strangers. After what I've been hearing with the last two Strangers, and somebody spoiled a little bit of chapter 2 for me, and they said something They said that the strangers, and I didn't like this, they said in the Strangers chapter 2, you start to learn more about them and you start hearing why they do what they do and all that. I don't like that. It kind of messes up everything that 2008 did. I don't want to know who the strangers are. I don't want to know their backstory and nothing like that. I like 2008's response. They said, "Because you were home." That's just pure evil. That's how some villains should be in these movies, and I like that. That's why I'm hesitant to see chapter 1 and 2. So if it's still really good, let me know in the comment section. But I hate when I love something and then it gets tarnished by another project using the same title, and they want to go a different route. If you want to go a different route, do a different title, do a different horror movie. Don't take something that's already solidified as great and change it. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Strangers was a good closer for me for Halloween. That was something my brother and I always was uncomfortable watching in an entertaining way. When I say that, I mean an entertaining way. It did its job. It's amazing. Honestly, for me, Strangers was 10 out of 10. There's nothing flawed in that movie. Yeah, well, it's crazy. This is it. Day 31, the last movie review. I mean, it's the last Halloween movie review. I'm still going to do movie reviews. You know, there's so many other movies coming out. And some might be horror related, you know. So, like Black Phone 2 is coming out, other movies. So, I'm still going to be doing reviews, but not in this kind of sense. But I hope y'all have fun this holiday. Please be careful. Yeah, be careful out there. Have a good time, but don't do anything crazy. And I hope y'all enjoyed this whole series. Please let me know in the comment section, what are y'all doing for the holiday? And what movies are you watching? Since this was all movie reviews, what movies were you watching for the Halloween holiday? Like, what is your thing? What is your favorite type of horror? Because you know there's different kinds. What's your favorite type? All right. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Have a good night.